Good day, everyone. My name is John Jesus. Welcome to Maths World. We are still on number base, but we are moving to addition of number base. How we add two or more number base together. Now, let's assume we have an example like 101 base 2 plus 111 base 2. If you are adding this together, but I want to drive you to something. For instance, base 10. Remember I told you base 10 is what we use normal. What does that mean? Let's assume we have 197 plus 291. Oh, let me say 294. Now, we are adding this together now. 7 plus 4, that is 11. You write 1, you keep this 1. So you keep it here. Let me keep it here. So 9 plus 9 plus 1, that's 19. You write 9, you keep 1. 2 plus 1 plus 1, that's 4. Remember, this is how you do your normal addition. But this, I tell you that this is the same thing as writing it in base 10. What does that mean? How did they arrive to this? 7 plus 1 is what? Is 11, right? 11. But it is greater than the base. And I told you must not write a number that is greater than the base. You do what? You divide this number by 10. 11 divided by 10 is what? 1. That 1, you put it on top. Remainder, that remainder is what you will write here. That remainder 1, we are putting it here. Are you getting it now? 1 plus 9 plus 9, that is 19. And 19 is greater than 10. So you will still do the same thing. How many 10 can you see in 19? You will see 1. That 1, you are putting it here. Remainder 9. That 9 that remains is what you are putting here. Are you getting it now? 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4. It's not up to 10. And remember, we can write it down. So that is how we normally arrive to this. So that is the same logic we are going to use here. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 is up to 2. And I told you must not write 2. You must write a number that is less than that 2. So what should we do? We are dividing these 2 by these 2. How many 2 can we see in 2? Is 1. That 1, you are putting it here. Remainder 0, because it doesn't remain anything. That 0 is what you are putting there. Are you getting it now? 1 plus 0 plus 1 is still 2. How many 2 can we see in 2? It's still 1. That 1, put it here. Remainder 1. Remainder 0 rather, because it remains nothing. You are putting 0 here. Are you getting this now? 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 3. So how many 2? That's 3, right? How many 2 can we see in this 3? 1. That 1, you put it here. Remainder 1, put the 1 here. Remember, 1 is here and nothing is left. So you can drop the 1 back. Do you understand? That is what? 1100 base 2. That's how you add in base 2. Do you understand now? So let's assume we have different base. 4, 5, 7 base 8 and 3, 2, 6 base 8. If you want to add this together, it's the same logic. 7 plus 6 is 13. Okay. 13 is higher than the base, which is 8. And we cannot write 13 now. Remember. Okay. How many 8 can we now see in this 13? 1. That 1, we are putting it here. Remainder what? It remains 5. That remainder is what we are putting now. Remember to pay your bills. Do you understand? 1 plus 5, 6 plus 2, 8. Okay, that gives us 8. How many 8 can we see in 8? 1. That 1, we are putting it here. Remainder 0, because it remains what? Nothing. Do you get? 1 plus 4, that's 5. 5 plus 3 is still 8. All right. So let me still write the 8. How many 8 can we see in 8? It's still 1. The 1, I put it here. Remainder what? 0. It doesn't remain anything. Right? This 1, you now drop it down. That's how you add in number base. So your answer is what? 1005 base what? Base 8. That's how you add in number base. These are the questions that I want you to practice and drop your answer in the comments below. But if they give you different bases, like if this is base 9 and this is base 8, you don't need to stress yourself. You cannot add them together. Remember, you just convert both to base 10 and add them normally and return your answer back to. They will ask you to drop your answer in one base, maybe in base 9 or in base 8. You just drop your answer back in base 8, or if you like, drop that second one in base 8 in base 9 and add them together and give them your answer. You can do it anyway, but 9 and base 8 and base 9 can never be added, or base 9 other bases can never be added except the same basis. We are moving to subtraction of number base. This is a question now on subtraction. How can we subtract this? In my last video, I discussed something about plus. What is behind it? That is the same thing that is behind subtraction. Let's check. If you want to subtract this, number base 10, remember you just say what? 1 minus 7, impossible. You borrow 1 from this 3, this become 2, right? And you join that, that one that you borrow, you put it here, making 11. 11 minus 7, that is 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 1, 0. And 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, but if you are checking it in number base, if you are doing it in number base system, what is actually behind this thing is that 1 minus 7, it's impossible. Yes, it's impossible. So let's borrow from this guy. If you now borrow from this guy, this become 2, right? That one that you borrow, return to the base, which is 10, and we add it to this number. 10 plus 1, 11. That is what's behind it. Let me just put 1 in the front. No, if it is 3, we should put 1 at the front. It's still the same thing as saying 10 plus 3, 13. Put 1 at the front, making 13. You remember? So you will just add the 10 with this, making 11. Right? 11 minus 7 is what? 4. And you subtract the remaining if you are not borrowing. But if you borrow 1 from your neighbor, you must change that one that you borrowed to the base before you can use it. That's what we are going to use here. 3 minus 4, impossible. Remember? So we borrow from our neighbor. Our neighbor here is 1. And when we borrow 1 from 1 the becomes 0. And that 1 we change to 5, our base. We now add it to this 3. 5 plus 3 is what? 8. Alright. 8 minus 4, that is 4. Remember to put your base. 0 minus 1, impossible. We borrow again, borrow from these 3, this 4 become 3. That one that you borrow, we turn to the base, which is 5. 5 plus 0, that is 5. 5 minus 1, 4. Are you getting this? 3 minus 2, 1. Case closed. That's how you subtract. Let me give you another example. Let's assume we have this in base 2 like this. 0 minus 1, impossible. What should we do? Let's borrow. Borrow from here, I don't have money. Borrow from here, I don't have money. This one will come and borrow from here. And once this one become borrow from here, this one becomes 0. That one that we borrow become the base, which is 2. 2 plus 0, that's 2. This one becomes 2 like that. This guy will come and borrow from this guy. This become 1. That one that you borrow will become 2 again. This guy become 2 again. Remember, it's this one that need the money. This one will now come to borrow here. This one become 1 again, and this one become 2. Remember, this guy can now cross over here to borrow. You can only borrow from your neighbor. This one can borrow from here. This one can borrow from here. You can see how they borrow and they get the money. So you see this is the last person having the 2. So 2 minus 1 is what? Is 1, base 2. 1 minus 1, 0. 1 minus 1, 0. And 0, 0. Probably your answer is 1. So your answer is 1 base 2. If you should add 1 with this, you must get this back. Okay, these are the top 3 questions that you are going to deal with. Deal with these questions and drop your answer in the comments below. But I want you to note something about this guy. Subtract this guy from this guy. Whenever you have subtract a number, okay, let me give you something. Subtract minus 1 from 1. What will be your answer? You'll be saying 0. You are wrong. You are pretty wrong. But what's the answer? The answer is 2. You'll be like, ow, just look. You are removing this from this guy, which means this is coming before this guy, right? Which is 1 minus this minus 1. And by the time you multiply, minus 1 times minus is plus, and 1. 1 plus 1 is what? 2. You can see now, you are wrong. If you say your answer is 0, but don't panic. This must come before this if you have from. Do you understand? Like and subscribe to this channel, share it to your friends and comment below. Thank you.